Welcome to Beauty and the Bi. I'm the beauty on the inside.
And I'm the bisexual.
On the outside.
I mean, outside, inside.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Yeah.
Get it.
If you're here, it's because you care about girls, gays, and the things that they do to make money. So we are going to entertain you, hopefully, and more importantly, entertain ourselves.
This is for us.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, great if you watch. Thank you. We care so much if you watch. We care about those numbers ticking up. But ultimately, I'm just here to make jokes with my friend.
I'm here to be on camera.
I'm here to say the word vagina as much as possible.
Oh, yeah.
In
and
a
talk about my
friendly
sex life.
and non-violent environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good disclaimer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on in the world that makes me want to say words like pussy and vagina as much as humanly possible.
Gotta normalize it.
Yeah, let's normalize feminine terms and criminalize masculine terms, unless they're applying to the gay community. Specifically.
That was a good save. Good save. Yeah, definitely.
Hashtag criminalize masculinity.
Criminalize
Criminalize
what do straight men do?
How about instead of the legalized gay shirts, we get criminalized straight? That would make me like that shirt.
I feel you on that.
Right?
Yeah.
Criminalized straight. That would be.
All my family is just like rolling their eyes right now.
I feel
just
extremely
all so
stupid
straight.
for saying this in front of people and not immediately running out of the room to patent that. 'Cause that's LA's new shirt. That's like the future is female.
Yes.
Criminalized straight. That's it,
I
man.
love it. Well, since we're still in the beginning of our shooting, and clearly we shot 2 episodes in a row on the same day because I'm in the same clothes.
And I was gonna just take off my jacket, but I have enormous sweat stains underneath this beautiful little denim dream. So I'm not going to expose them to you yet, but if I'm feeling frisky, if I'm feeling proud of my body,
We're gonna come back to the break, and
which
it's
is
just
beautiful.
gonna be, you can see the heat radiating off of her pants.
The only time I want to be violent is with my sweat stains. So I want to be violent against standard, against
well,
oppression.
other than your sweat stains, tell them, since this is only episode 3, tell them about yourself.
I mean, sometimes violence is
Introduce
the
yourself.
answer. The violence of the feminine form. I am Christiana Morgenroth. I shoot and record, I should say. I record and host a stand-up and storytelling show over on Fairfax at the Open Space venue. I'm very good at it. And I hire and treat very handsome guests to the show. We focus specifically, like this show very much, specifically on having LGBT family. We have people of color and women on the lineup. You may or may not see me prioritizing that in terms of I won't say out loud that that's the case, but you will probably at some point experience me talking about why I hate straight people and why I hate men and why I hate white people. So eventually you'll come to the conclusion that perhaps this is a new kind of safe space. My brother immediately turned this off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he's a very good man, and
I can't wait.
Hates it when
my
I talk
family
like
didn't
this.
even know that I'm starting this podcast, and so they're gonna see it probably on Snapchat today,
yeah.
and be like, oh my god, and they're gonna listen to it and be like, oh it's
no.
Cody talking about the shit that he always talks about. That
Never mind. We support you, but not all the time.
They're like, Cody, we know you hate us.
We get it. We get it. Really and truly, I don't know. I mean, here's my thing. I want to say that I am a friend to all people.
Oh, absolutely.
And I also want to punch Nazis in the fucking face.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just
that satisfaction?
A tip for you, for those of you watching at home. Thumb goes on the outside, okay? Make sure that it's lining up against your fingers. If you punch the way you see in movies, where your thumb is inside your hand, you will break your thumb. Also, make sure that your nails look this good when you're punching Nazis.
I thought when you put your thumb on the outside, though, I feel like you hit with. When it hit's a hit, I guess.
A hit's a hit, but basically you're crushing it. You're crushing it in this little finger cage.
Yeah.
I think that's supposed to be the idea.
Do I look like someone who's been in a fight?
Sure. I don't know if
that wasn't my brother, who was 4 years younger than me. While no one was home alone, I can beat up on him as much as I wanted to when I was 13. But no, I'm not. People ask me have you ever been in a fight? I'm like, look at me.
Do I have Owen Wilson's nose or my own? I've not been in a fight.
I'm like, I have a pretty nose. I'm this twinky little boy who hates both confrontation and the fear of getting in trouble. No.
That is such a real fear.
That,
oh my
like,
God, that
I don't
rules
do
my
that.
life. I'm
I talk a big
terrified
game.
of getting in trouble.
I talk a big game.
We always
do. When I go to the
Yep.
bar, like when I go
love
like
to talk like a
visit back
medium-sized game.
a medium-sized.
Like
Gotta
I'll
keep it
upgrade from a
balanced.
small, but like not big game. You know?
When I go back home to Northern California and I see like all like my straight guy friends and we all go to the bars together, I feel like I can talk the most shit in the room because they will all fight for me. Like all of them. Like I have a best friend who's a cop.
They'll do it for
I have
you.
a best friend who loves to fight.
Yeah.
I'm like he's like I love to fight.
Do you want to fight?
I
Babe,
can
it's
talk.
our anniversary.
I can just go talk a mad game, and especially because I'm in Northern California, so it's all straight bars. Like there's literally like there's one gay bar in my hometown, but like other than that, like it's like either Sacramento or San Francisco. Like
Yikes.
those are two opposite directions of where I'm
Poles.
at.
The northern and southern pole
Of gays.
of the world.
But I am Cody Palm, and I am the residential bisexual of the show, and I don't
Tell
have
us
this.
something about yourself.
I like to drink, and then I puke, and then I drink more. That happens a lot.
That's
I
a great
know that's
summary.
happened on multiple times we have gone out.
You're quoting
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt?
Yeah, Harry Tubman.
Ah, there
Yeah.
we go. Sometimes I get them confused.
If you see me like exit out of the bar or anything like that, like I'm usually take someone with me. I don't know why I can't go puke by myself.
I don't see you exit the bar. I see you crawl from
Yeah.
the depths of hell onto
Yeah.
the pavement.
I just like exit the bar. I'm really good when I have to throw up that I know like where to find the best place to throw up. Like I find alleyways, I find porta potties. Like
Find McDonald's cups that are empty.
Yeah, and then I vomit.
Good on you,
The show's
babe.
not about vomiting though.
I mean, in a way.
Yeah. In a way.
So this is, I was going to say, like we said, this is recorded in the past. Apologies for that. But recently, Donald Trump and this is clearly not Donald Trump's real order, but the Trump administration is now going to be releasing an executive order, which specifically has to do with federal regulations on hiring LGBT people. So
And it goes beyond that too. It's not just like hire. It affects. It's basically like a protection to discriminate. So like people can, and that'll literally affect everything from like adoption, which is already affected in many states.
Yeah.
Adoption, like even like taxes, finances, like literally anything that you think you could be discriminated for on paper, like this would protect it. Like
I'm generally not a fan of withholding things, but I think the fastest way to change this is for every single gay man that does the hair of women like Tammy and what have you and her ilk,
and Danielle.
just put their hands up and say, no, we're done. Get
Yeah.
your own hair done.
Absolutely.
They can't go
Oh
on
my
TV
God.
anymore. Like, that's it. Their roots
Yeah, 'cause
start coming in.
You know,
they
a straight
start
person
looking
does
like
Donald Trump's hair.
right, exactly. Clearly, I think a trained team of birds do Donald Trump's hair.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it's a person. But yeah, honestly, like I kind of think withholding might be the situation. Everything that we give to straight people, every ounce of style, knowledge, and critique, however fair, should be withheld. And then,
Absolutely.
like, we'll see. Like, if you would like to see us not do our jobs, we won't do our jobs. You
Yeah.
will see how the world runs when we
Yeah.
don't do your jobs for you.
Absolutely. So well put.
Thank you. Thank you
Such
very
a good
much.
strategy. I had nothing prepared for that. I was like, oh.
He was unprepared.
I was sort of not. I was just prepared to like talk about it and just basically bitch. But you had a plan.
Thank you. I usually do.
I keep you around.
I call it Plan B. Oh, that was a weak ass joke.
No,
I
it wasn't,
apologize to
'cause
those
that's, like,
listening at home.
That's such a good name for like a female pop punk band.
Oh yeah, I've
Coin it
started it.
quick.
Yep. I'll be Plan C. Plan C.
I love that Austin Powers joke where it's like
'cause- yeah.
preparations A through G works complete failure. So this plan is called Preparation H.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Honestly,
same.
it's strange how much the Austin Power movies like weirdly hold up and then nothing else up until he like has that one random cameo in Inglourious Bastards and you're like, Mike Myers, what are you doing here?
Where are you?
Yeah, like
I miss him.
I would love to watch Inglourious Bastards this week for many obvious reasons. But yeah, I don't know. So
other than that,
we're gonna be doing two things. You'd like hop into my car and be like getting fries and killing Nazis.
I love our drunk escapades
We've
to the
made
drive-thru.
so many fry
to
trips
McDonald's.
specifically because I'm like, I'm not going home without getting fries.
No.
So we'll stop at McDonald's, I'll fork over my card, order literally just an order of fries, and then head home. I think it's a flattering portrait.
I think it's healthy in some aspect of it. Yeah. I tell
Caricature.
myself that a lot of things with the things I eat. Because I'm not a healthy person.
You're not?
I do.
You?
I was like, bitch. No, not at all.
No. But
Anyway.
yeah. Anyway, so the government is trying to make discrimination legal, which is tight. It's already illegal and still happens all the time. So for it to have to be now be government sanctioned, clearly we are devolving into a fascist regime. We will need to fight. Up next, in order to assist us in fighting this fascist dictatorship, will be Jen Curcio, a good friend of mine and a comic. Welcome back to The Beauty and the Bi. This is your host, Cody Palm, and also your host, myself, Christiana Morgenroth. With us is the lovely and talented Jen Curcio.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. How you feeling tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good
Yeah.
is a good place to start.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna push you to go up or down. I feel like if we can hold that line of pretty good, I like that.
Yeah.
Especially after the conversations we just had like before we started rolling.
Yes.
Pretty explicit.
It was indeed.
I'm like sitting here, I'm like, so I fucked this person the other day. And we're still pretty good, so we're good.
Most of our conversations start that way, Cody.
Always. I feel like, especially since I've been single, I'm like every conversation, I'm like, so I went on this date the other day.
I feel like since I've been single, most of my conversations start with, so I was staring at the ceiling again. I've forgotten to eat. It was 6 p.m. I'd not yet eaten that day. I saw a cat pass by.
You have like a captain's log. You're like, day 722 of being single, still dead inside. Ate a lean cuisine.
Ate multiple taquitos. Oh, so joining us today, as I said, is Jen Curcio, who runs a fantastic show called Jen and Cara's Sleepover Party. She hosts it at the same place that I host my show, the Open Space over on Fairfax at Cantor's. It's beautiful. It's a great venue. I'm so excited that you have joined us there. So tell us, first of all, about like how did you start this comedy show?
I started it, it was kind of just like randomly. Like I saw like one storytelling show and I was like, that was such a good show. Like I was like, I want to see more of that. And then I was like, I'm going to just start my own. And then
DIY.
I did.
That is such a wholesome like response.
That's
she was just like,
beautiful.
I did it.
I saw it,
I did
wanted
it.
conquered it.
Yeah.
Got
I
the
wish I was
t-shirt.
that kind of
Are you guys
person.
gonna come out with t-shirts anytime soon?
Oh man.
Because I would love that. Just make it look
should.
like a pajama set, you know?
Oh my gosh.
That'd be so cute. So one of the great things about Jen's show is that because it's called Sleepover Party, not only are you encouraged to and allowed to come in sleepover attire, accoutrement, like full pajamas, onesies, etc., but they also have my favorite thing of every party I've ever been to, like through at least the ages of 1 through 12, which is party favors. They provide
we
goodie
do.
bags filled with like
My mind went to
homemade
drugs.
popcorn
I was
balls.
like, tell me more.
What?
And you were like,
You know,
you're like party hats. I was like,
You know.
tell me less.
party favors.
I'm like,
No, so
I do
they
miss
actually
goodie
like
bags.
put together party favors, and it's the kind of thing where anytime I really, really want to do that for a party, I always feel like it's gonna be extra. And then people are like, "Why did you actually make party favors?" I'm like, "Yes, because I
Who the fuck's
like
complaining?
our friendship." Yeah, I know. I'm like,
Who would do that?
Sorry, I gave you free nice things.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I enjoyed your company enough to reward you for coming.
Yeah.
Your presence is not
That's
the only
really what
present.
it is. It's a reward for attending.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, like that might be the solution. Maybe we should start pushing party favors more so that people will actually attend social events more frequently.
True.
Some
Party
millennial-
favors are more unique than Netflix, just saying.
They really are. Some millennial hater probably just heard that and was like, just like millennials, wanting something for showing up. I literally I heard it. I heard the keyboard clicking away. Can you tell me more about this comedy show? Like the style, like what the format? Because I am like, I'm completely ignorant to all this as the people
come.
listening. So
It's a great show.
So tell me
Thank you.
about it.
Yeah,
What's it like? What do you do?
It's super fun. Everyone wears pajamas, and we tell embarrassing stories. So it's basically like every guest can tell a story based on like the theme of the month. So like this month it's dating / love. So there's tons of embarrassing shit about that. Yes. Or you can just like do any kind of big reveal. Like my really good friend was on last month, and he told a story that I didn't even know about him. He was raised in a cult. Yeah, and I was in the background like, oh my God! Like everybody was like freaking out.
Good.
Yeah.
Was
it a cult we would know by name, or was like a small backwoods terror house?
It was in Chicago.
What? You can have cults in a major city that just go on. Well, I guess. I mean, yeah.
I really want to infiltrate a cult. How do you do that? You can't just go
it's
around.
easy.
It's not like.
Well,
is it? Because it's not like walking
probably.
around trying to find a drug dealer. You're not just weed. I can't go around going cult.
Step one, you put in your order at Cafe Gratitude.
Yeah.
Step 2, you're now part of a cult.
Yeah.
They literally. Do you know that they force you to say every dish there is named after a different positive emotion? So it's you have to say, "I am thankful" if you want to be served food there. And I'm I'm not thankful. I want to flip the table over. I'm a millennial. I don't express gratitude.
What?
Disgusting.
I have to buy this?
How about I am resistant?
I am entitled to
I'm
food.
pissed.
I am entitled.
Okay, storytelling show.
Storytelling show, yeah.
super cool.
So it's super rad.
you.
But yeah, I mean, have you done comedy before this show?
Oh yeah, of course. I did improv for years. I moved here to finish doing stuff at UCB. I did their whole into advanced studies. That's a cult. All you have to do. No, I'm kidding.
UCB is
But
fully
that's
a
a cult of
cult.
variation. No,
it's
Improv
great.
in general
It's
is
great.
it's a good cult,
It's a
but
good
it's
one.
definitely a cult.
Yeah, it's
improv.
cultish.
There have been sitcom episodes written about this. It's for sure.
But it's a nice positive one.
Most of them are, to be fair.
It's true.
I'm not like other cults. I'm a cool cult.
Yeah, no one, you say yes and, it's nice.
I'm not like most cults. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, it's a cult can have positive effects, definitely.
can.
But the defining factor of a cult is ultimately the fact that it's got to be at least somewhat xenophobic. If you are not like us, then you are outside. And that's, I mean, that's a feature of a lot of groups, but it's also more definitively, I think you can put UCB in that same line. But UCB generally doesn't encourage people to kill themselves, it just happens.
Yeah.
Harold.
Unrelated. Unrelated to the UCB. We're not plugging that. Oh God.
No, I'm fully kidding. That was a joke about how comedians are depressed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't, yeah. I mean, I guess it's not a joke if it's mostly true. I should rescind my hurtful statement. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Thank you. I appreciate your swift forgiveness on that. But yeah, okay. So you've been doing this show. What do you ideally either A, have coming up next, or B, want to be doing next? Do you want to see the show expand, or do you want to start more new projects? What do you have coming up?
Well, of course, I'd want to see the show expand, but I also have other projects. I have a web series about dating that I'm writing.
2 for 2. I'm liking it.
Yeah. So it's super fun. It's just
Fantastic.
it's basically taking a kernel of the weird things that happen on dates and just expanding it.
Okay.
So
I
it's based
like
in
this a lot.
truth, but it goes
Oh,
to crazy
is it?
towns.
That's my favorite.
Can you give us an example of one story recently of a date you've been on that was strange? And also, follow-up question, by which I mean prequel question. Where do you usually meet the people that you go on dates with? Do you have an app of choice, or do you have a social group of choice?
No, I use the Her app.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm so slick. I go to the same place every time. Bar
Beautiful.
Covell.
Nice.
And
yes.
I'm just hey, what's up?
It's
and I
dark enough.
Yeah.
Have you been here before?
That if they're ugly, you can be like. It could be if they're pretty on the inside, you can tell.
Yes, of course.
That's how I mean to say that.
Everybody's beautiful. in one way or another.
I'm like, and then you're like, in
thinking
one
of
way,
the
okay.
administration, I'm like, finding.
Yeah, that's
Our
like
salty
what I
asses, we're like,
You really have to search for beauty at times.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's true.
I mean, I'm sure. I'm not sure. I'm not going to finish that sentence, but I'm sure it exists in all of us. Or at least,
Somewhere.
if it doesn't exist currently, it existed once.
At once, yeah, like, yeah, when people are babies, I'm sure.
Yeah.
you know, when you're an embryo,
Yeah.
you're good then.
Yeah.
You're unproblematic. I want to get back to that state personally. I want to get back to where I was.
A not problematic
Yeah,
embryo.
I had no like, you know, like the biases baked into me, like, you know, over the
Oh,
course
it's
of
true.
years. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know that that's. I mean,
be
you
called
get,
out on anything.
You start being affected as as early as like babyhood.
Toddlers. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
literally, whether or not your parents come pick you up when you cry for a long time is like that
yeah.
impacts like your whole idea about love.
Yeah.
Forever, and like whether or not you'll get married.
And even like dynamics of like things like, you know, like when you see like toddlers like the boy, when like the boy is like being aggressive with the girl and they're like, oh, it just means he likes you. It's like, no, that's not.
It does not. It means that he's
And it's like that's
bad.
ingrained into people forever. It's like that
Yeah.
violence means affection. Like,
Yeah. Let's not even talk
Yikes.
about Russia. Embarrassing. But yeah, so okay, out of curiosity, were you raised with particularly conservative or particularly liberal sensibilities growing up? Cody saying like he would love to go back to time pre-biases. I definitely had extremely conservative parents, and still have them. They're not dead. Yeah.
Great.
politically, they're dead to me. But
I mean, like, my dad he's still super liberal, and like my mom wasn't. But then like after I came out, she was like, it took her about a year.
Yeah.
But she's here now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And now,
super cool.
is she liberal only on LGBT rights, or is she generally just more liberal? She's kind of starting to see the light.
Everything.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to do with my mom. Like my mom,
Yeah.
like doesn't like politics, like love the Obamas, like, but like
Yes.
all my dad watches is Fox News, O'Reilly Factor, Sean
Yeah.
Hannity, Waters World, like, so, you know,
Yeah.
like the Antichrist of television.
Yes.
And so my mom, you know, is generally not into politics now. With, you know, recent events, like I was talking to my mom about it, and she's like, you know, your father is just always watching that. He's a Trump supporter, like da da da. And I'm like molding her. I'm like, go to Upworthy, read everydayfeminism.com. Like
You're
I'm
literally like
I'm trying to
the
manipulate my mom.
that's
I am.
brainwashing their son
Yeah.
to like hate their dad,
Yeah.
but in a good way. I like this. This is for good. This is ultimately
Yeah.
for social good.
But I also am afraid of the damage I could do with their relationship. I don't want to.
Well, I was gonna say
My dad's a great person.
Leah's gonna say damage would have to exist if they're growing apart in different
Oh
directions.
my God, we're talking about my parents. Like,
Sorry, I
Married. Where
love
did we
talking about
come?
people's parents and parents' marriages. As a child of divorce, let me just say I have a degree in
I have a
being a child of divorce.
certification of a broken home.
Yeah, I nearly have a PhD. No, but yeah, it's definitely interesting to me to see like how your relationship with your parents has changed over the years
Yeah.
versus how they raised you, and B, I mean, did any of the way that you grew up and were raised influence how you decided to become a comedian?
Oh yeah. Without a doubt.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
like,
when was
it's-
that seed planted?
I feel like that's so refreshing to have jokes about liberal parents. Like you always hear jokes about like your conservative parents, like, white people, but oh, that's got to be great. Like I bet you ate like a lot of quinoa growing up or something. Like
No, that's
wasn't
not
even a
weird.
thing yet.
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't a thing yet, but it was kind of weird because it was like I grew up kind of like on a farm. We weren't farmers.
Beautiful. Where are you from?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so it was like a cornfield,
Love it.
and then it was like a wide opening with our house near the Brandywine
picturesque.
River.
What?
How? Oh my
No,
God.
like seriously, like do you know Andrew Wyeth, the painter?
Yeah.
He lived near me.
No
like his.
way. That's
I'm
just
dead.
based on your life.
I'm dead. It is
That's
basically.
outstanding.
I know.
I was thinking like Ansel Adams. I was like, that's your photography. That's
That's basically it. Yeah. And like no joke, like the cornfield across from my house is in one of his
That's
paintings.
like, oh, that's
It's
cool.
it's like amazing. And then I went to art school and I studied like art history and stuff. And I was like, that's across from my house. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And I was like,
You're like,
no,
no,
it's like my
That's
house.
like the
My house is
spacious
just
skies,
our
the
frame.
amber waves of grain, like that's
Yeah,
all me.
that's like
that's
where
like
I
my
live.
backyard. That's where I grew up.
Yeah, so it was like conservative area,
Yeah,
liberal
but
parents.
really liberal parents.
So I got like the conservative waves.
Yeah,
know.
you got the town. I assume the town you
Yeah.
grew up in was fairly conservative.
Pretty conservative.
Were your parents? Did it seem like your parents were like specifically going against the grain in any way, or did it just seem like your parents were your parents?
I mean, they were just my parents. Like my dad was kind of more like a secret, you know, like he's like I'm voting for, you know, Bill Clinton. And I'm gonna tell you why. Like I was a little kid.
Love that.
And he's
I
like,
love that.
yeah, like he like took me to the voting booth and everything, and he was like, this is why you have to,
because he can play saxophone. We gotta elect.
well, no, but like
I
he
love
was
your
like,
father. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
that's
pretty
cool,
cool.
though. That's incredible. That's a great moment between the two of you.
Yeah.
Did you have any similar moments with your mother now that she's sort of kind of being like she's walking across the spectrum?
Yeah.
What has that been like?
amazing.
Yeah.
Because she was like so conservative, like when I was a little kid. And then it was like she was like a closeted liberal her whole life. And like when she finally the Women's March, she was like, if I could have been there, I would have. And I was like, yes, yes.
That's a beautiful
I love
thing.
that.
It was amazing.
that.
It was really awesome.
That's outstanding. So you're now much closer with your mother than
Oh,
you were.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Do you generally do you tell your mom what's going on in your life for the most part?
Sometimes the crazy stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like 20% as a young person, and now maybe more like 40 to 60.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Love that.
She loves drama.
I can
So-
relate.
She's in our group then
Oh my
already.
god, I'm that bitch
Jen's
where people are
mom.
like I don't like there's some drama that went down. I'm like,
Tell me about
always
your
at work.
sins.
Always at work. People are like, oh, well, I got into it with boss yesterday. I was like, I just get closer and I'm like, tell me every detail. What'd she say?
I appreciate
on
that
it.
in that scenario you assumed the boss was a woman.
Well, I only work
Things are
with women.
changing. Things are changing. Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay.
Well, that's great though. Like I'm
good.
the only boy at my
Yeah.
job.
Sometimes I get frustrated when people give the attitude that things are changing. Our company is 60%
yeah.
women. I'm like, how? What percentage of your company are women in in positions of leadership? Though?
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
actually do you just mostly hire women for the most part to do a service position, or are there actually women leading the company? Because that's a
Yeah.
whole different ballgame. Let's not pat ourselves on the back just because we hired women. It's not World War II. Specifically, if in an ideal world, someone introduces you either on a show or as the host of your own show, whatever, do you want to be introduced as a gay woman comedian? Do you want to be introduced as a gay comedian, or do you want to be introduced as a comedian? What do you feel in terms of identity is important to you?
Yeah.
And would you rather be, there's so many valid schools of thought on this, would you rather be approached as a comedian who happens to be gay and a woman, or would you rather have it on the table, this is part of my identity and this is going to be part of my comedy?
I always say that I'd rather be introduced just as a comedian, and then it's I'm gay, and my whole thing behind that is because I feel eventually I would love it if, and not to be labels shouldn't matter, but that's what I would actually like. It shouldn't, it shouldn't matter, no one, it should just be a thing. People shouldn't have to come out. It should just be
Yeah, it should just be
gay
I'm bringing a boy
yeah.
home.
gay and
Go
lady
home.
comedians should be so popular at
Yeah.
this point. Comedy should be shifting to a point where if you're a comedian, it's just expected that you're going to be a person, not expected you're going to be a
Yeah.
guy or straight or white guy, whatever it is. It
Yeah.
should just be expected that you're just going to be a person who's funny. That's
Yeah.
it. But it definitely, there's something to be said for the fact that it kind of allows you to target your demographic with a little bit more clarity,
Yeah.
because rather than going to a show and not really knowing what the crowd is going to be, if you're billing yourself and putting yourself on lineups specifically that are favoring LGBT family and women, in addition, you're just going to know going in that your audience is already relatively progressive and relatively leftist or other or in some way on the fringe, which allows you to be a little bit more radical and have a little bit more fun with your comedy. There's something about that grit that gives it like a little bit, when you raise the stakes, that's already like a rule of comedy. It's just going to be more fun.
Yeah.
Like if I straight up, if I pulled out a
I'm
knife,
not a comedian.
this would not be fun at all.
No.
But
Well, what are you into?
like where your head's at.
Yeah,
Like where your
always.
head's at. But yeah, no, that's definitely interesting to me. Just kind of like finding that dichotomy, because I am confident that there's no escaping the identity, so it's almost like it's at this point at least, because the rest of the world is in there, so we have to come forward and say like, yes, I am a comedian, and yes, I am a woman, and yes, I am somewhere on the spectrum in terms of LGBTQIA, etc. But if you don't, it feels like going up on stage and having a kick me sign on your back. If you don't address it, it feels like a monkey in the room, an elephant in the room. I mixed metaphors sometimes. I was like monkey on your back, elephant in the room.
Yeah.
But you get it.
Yeah,
So.
I love that, like that finding that balance, because it's like being bisexual is a big part of me. I mean, for God's sakes, we named the fucking podcast Beauty and the Bi. I'm like, it's a really big part of me, and especially like speaking out like about it, you know, and just the unique problems that, you know, and experiences bisexual people face. But like at the same time, you're like, well, that's not all I am. You know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, but I want you to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to be aggressive, but then you're like, but you know.
But, yeah, I am like a human
Like
being.
fast food.
One of the functions of this show, aside from talking about your career and talking about basically just how being a gay comedian has influenced it, we are curious to know, what is the first experience you had with sex? That does not have to mean, when was the first time you had sex? But when did the concept of sex enter your mind as a kind of like half understood strangeness? Or when was the first experience where you kind of understood like, oh, that's what sex is?
Yeah, I thought sex was just like kissing naked, like
I straight up
until I was like 12.
Like I thought that
And humping,
the
but
penis
I didn't.
went in between the legs, because there were always jokes about like what's in between her legs. So I thought it just like goes like here in the
innocent.
thighs, and I was like, that's sex.
Yeah.
Until I was at least 12, like an inappropriate age to not know what sex is. Like I was like, oh, that's because my parents just didn't have the talk or any talk, like verboten.
There's an Amish joke.
I love that you know.
I'm like, I love
I mean,
this
it's not
setup.
Amish. It's about Amish people. Because, like, I grew up near Amish country.
Yeah.
You said cornfield, and that's
Yeah.
the first thing I thought.
Yeah,
too.
everyone's like, so you're Amish. Like, there's a running joke at my job where I'm on my Rumspringa. So, like, every year that it's my anniversary, like, we have a cake that says Happy Rumspringa.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, that's me. Never going back. Like, but anyway, the joke is like two Amish people, a guy and a girl, were, you know, on their horse carriage, and the woman says, "Oh, my hands are so cold," and she says, "I put them between my legs because that's what you're supposed to do. Your hands are cold." And he goes, "Oh, my penis is cold." Like someone told me that joke in like 5th grade.
Is that where soaking comes from?
Let's make that the introduction to our next game.
The new staple question for our guests now is going to be: so have you soaked? Have you been soaked, or were you the soaker?
Soaky.
The soaky.
So, introducing our
Back to
next-
the question.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll return to soaking in our game.
Was that your
That was
experience with it?
probably-
Like
That was like one of the
Like the
earliest.
indicator of, like,
I would
penis between the legs. Got it.
Yeah, because and that was kind of like, to your point, like I was like, what happens? You just put it in the, But I guess I would say
Think on this.
Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. I was like, there's more to this.
Oh,
I
that
can
is-
confidently say this ages me down a little bit. I can confidently say that I did not understand how much of that Avril Lavigne album was about blowjobs.
I didn't either until right now.
Okay.
Like, now that I'm thinking about it, you're right.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay,
No.
so there are several lyrics on Avril Lavigne's seminal first album.
Let go. Is that
like
called?
it's their lyrics about like I just want to blow you away.
Oh.
And then it says I
it's-
want you to get down on your knees, and it's like it's very clearly when I
Tongue-in-cheek.
was listening to it later in life, I was like, oh my god, my parents didn't say anything because they were too embarrassed to because I would play it in the car all the time. I'd ask them to play it. And they were like, I remember them saying something. And I was like, what are you guys talking about?
Like, we
It's
don't
like,
get it.
no, it's like,
I'm-
the song says, marry me today. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. She just is in love with this guy. And I'm like, oh. I was like, can't believe that one flew right over my 12-year-old head.
That was so many things with me growing up. Like, I'm surprised like my parents just let me watch and absorb some of the things I did because they knew it was over my head. Like,
Yeah.
I watched the first scary, the scary movie franchise. That first movie came out when I was like 7, 6. And I watched it, all of it. My parents didn't care.
You know, I literally
literally watched-
I was forced to leave the room for the naked scene in Titanic.
I watched fucking Anna Faris get erupted beneath her, a cum geyser into the ceiling, and I was like, I don't get it. And my parents were like, yeah. But
I
our
had
game-
to leave the room to see a woman lovingly portrayed.
Yeah.
Like, just
painted
'cause she
naked.
was
I'm
in
like,
it.
I want to be painted.
My parents
My
didn't
parents
care.
made me
Like,
leave the room.
I didn't either.
They-
I'm debating if I want to do that with my kids.
I watched Pulp Fiction when I was like 9.
Love
And the only
it.
the only part where they were like, get out of the room was when he was in the basement with the ball gag in his mouth.
They let you watch the part where he blows up someone's head, but they're
Yeah.
like, you have to get out when
Yes.
there's like implied anal sex.
Yes.
I
So,
wouldn't
like-
have known what that was, but I would definitely know about the gun. Like,
Yeah.
see someone get shot in the face, Marvin. Like,
You know
R.I.P.
it's game
Marvin.
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
they were
though.
just like, have
They're
at
more
it.
worried about that, but they're like,
Yeah.
nah, you good with this. Cody here has devised a set of terms.
Yeah.
And we play this game differently based on who our guest will be. But specifically, Cody and you both have something in common, which is that you both happen to sleep with women.
Yeah.
What you don't have in common is that Cody sleeps with gay men.
Yeah.
As a result, he knows some terms that you don't, even as a
Yeah.
member of the LGBT community that you both are. Cody is
And
going
even-
to quiz you.
I feel like though she's like, I'm like getting this aura from her. And I'm
She's
like,
probably gonna knock
she's
it out of
gonna,
the park
She's
and
gonna
know
like
things
get him,
like
and she's
that
gonna
we
be like, yeah, I
don't
know
know.
that is. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh.
Jen is
I feel
calm
super
and
that's why I'm thinking we can get
extremely
through a couple.
wise. So we'll try. But if you don't know what it is, guess at what you think it might be.
Oh,
if
I
you
guess.
do, knock it out of the park. Blow
Okay.
us all
I feel like
away.
someone's gonna correct
Blow us
me.
all away. In the words of
Avril
Avril
Lavigne.
Lavigne.
I feel like someone's gonna correct me on this. Like some homo is gonna be out there and correct me on this one when I describe it to you if you don't know what it
Well,
is.
actually-
But the first one is fish.
Mm.
Do you know what fish means?
I don't.
I don't. Oh, you have 15 seconds to guess.
Oh, I don't.
I forgot about
but,
that, yeah.
I'll guess that it's. Oh God.
And remember, these are like pertaining to like gay culture, like
Yeah.
mainly gay men culture.
Oh God, my mind. Like I go so.
Start talking.
Fine.
Oh, go get gross.
Um,
That's my motto.
I'm just
allowed
thinking
to
putting penises all in all sorts of holes.
I hear this term a lot on RuPaul's Drag Race, and it is typically used when the drag queens are, on stage and they're doing their walk, they're sissing their walk, and the particular drag queens that really look feminine, like really do it up to really
Yeah.
like try it, like really like portray very, very feminine features. They always say, "Oh, she's serving fish tonight. Like, look at her. She's
fish.
It's a seafood restaurant here because she's serving fish."
Clam chowder.
Salmon,
Bowl. Surf and turf.
blackfish, all up on this runway. So people are like, oh, like she's fish, like to drag, mainly about drag queens. So very feminine men.
So way off.
Way
fine.
off, but
That's
I
what the
loved
show's
your
about.
answer.
Yes,
I
that was a
loved
good
your
answer.
answer. This next one is an otter. We have an animal thing going right now.
Oh,
Otter.
yes.
Yes.
It's like the gay animal kingdom. Part of it. It's bear, cubs,
Yes.
otters.
Yes. Can you know like
Features.
the like not an example of an otter because I can't even think of one that comes to mind, but what does an otter look like?
I would imagine they're short.
Such
I love this.
short. Yeah, but you're pretty much right. Like the gay animal kingdom, like bears, cubs. You know.
I think we give her the point.
I give it a point, definitely.
Yep.
Otters are
The gay
are
animal
basically
kingdom.
if it was me, but I was hairy. So like skinny,
Really?
twinky, hairy men.
Just so swarthy, but
Okay.
twinky.
Yeah, yeah. So like
Yeah.
throw some hair on me, I'd be an otter.
Okay.
I'm a dolphin.
I was thinking short.
You're a
just-
dolphin.
Yeah.
I'm a dolphin. I'm a porpoise. I picked this one because when I was looking up terms, this was in like an article. It was like, well, I can't say the article name, but I'll say it after this. But the term is heady.
Oh. I think I got it.
It's so like funny and innocent, but
Yeah.
I don't know it.
apparently it's just a funny name that gay people call straight people.
Yep.
Ah,
Headies.
You're being
that
so
makes
heady.
so much sense.
I like was online and it was like 50 gay terms for the well-meaning heady, and I was like, that is the funniest thing. I am
The
using that term.
well-meaning heady.
Heady.
That's
I'm gonna
that would
start
have been
calling
a
it-
great name for my show. Honestly, I've got to rethink that. The well-meaning heady.
All right, this one
But it would've
is
eventually become
this one
false.
is a acronym. It's PNP. PNP.
Planned and Parenthood. Planned non-parenthood.
I see this one on Grindr all the time.
I'm just like a pervert. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Give it to me. Tell me.
I want to say one of those P's is penetration.
She's wrong,
But
but
no, like I'm like a secret pervert, and like my girlfriend is like very kinky, and so like she was really like, oh man, like I thought you were not gonna be kinky, and I was like, no, I'm not saying I'm like super kinky, but like she was like, you're a secret pervert. And I
yeah.
was like,
Oh,
"Ooh,
I'm
secret
not.
perv."
I look like I'm not a pervert, but like everyone knows I'm a pervert.
Everyone knows
like
you're a
everyone
pervert.
knows.
You were
I am,
Officer
like,
Dangle for Halloween.
I was,
Everyone
I
knows
was.
you're a pervert.
I was. But like when you look at me, like I used to get those looks, especially in
wouldn't
like in
guess.
high school. Yeah, in high
You
school,
look more
people when because I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty quiet when I don't necessarily know people until they start talking to me.
Yeah.
Especially when growing up, like I'm so much more like outwardly, whatever. But I'd get like paired up with someone, or like I'd get when we change like seating arrangements in school, and they'd be like, oh, like did you do the homework? And I'm like, no, I didn't do it. And they're like, you didn't do it? You look so smart. You look like you get straight A's. And I'm like, girl, no.
Those
I'm-
are just my Aryan features.
Yeah,
You're
no.
mistaking for excellence.
That's just the innocence look. I look like I, am award-winning spelling bee champion. No. P&P is party and play. And this is such a funny one because I see it so commonly on Grindr, but people are like, I don't do PNP, or people are like, I do PNP. But I've never actually been in however long I've been on dating apps, I've never actually had someone approach me and be like, do you PNP? And PNP just basically means like, do you want to do drugs and fuck? Like, literally,
okay.
like,
Of course.
do you want to do ecstasy?
could be
and-
penetration.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like
great.
I don't do party drugs. Like, so that's essentially what it is. It's just like, do you want to like do some stuff and like
mess
feel
around.
something and then mess around? Like I've never actually
Feel
been asked.
something
I
optional,
would say
but,
no,
you know.
just because I'm frightened.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just a really funny one that I honestly truly don't think anyone says,
Last
but I
one.
saw it
This
and
is beautiful. End it out.
beef gravy.
I don't want to know what this is, whether you get it right.
And it's like so like the opposite. Like
Yeah, that's
Like,
exactly
I know
what
it's
I
like
thought.
probably a really nice thing, but
I
it
just saw this
sounds
term and I was like, I've never heard anyone in
disgusting.
my lifetime use this term especially for what it is, but I need to put it on this list just to see what people will think it is. Beef gravy.
I have a guess, but I don't want to say it. I want to let our guess.
I'm gonna guess that it's when a bear's eating a bowl of chili and it falls down the front of him and it's all in his hair. His chest hair.
That's really
Oh
good.
my god, that
I like
is.
that.
Cute.
I pictured that so well.
Yeah.
It is literally like you're gonna be so disappointed in the answer because like that's what I really wanted. I wanted people to tell me what they thought.
We're just gonna
Beef
make it that
gravy.
now.
I know that's what it is now. But beef gravy is just some fucking word for semen.
Ew,
That's what
gross.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, I thought it specifically.
like,
I was a
that's-
mixture of both answers. I
I
thought it
saw it, yeah.
pertained to when bears are ejaculating.
No,
That's
just
what I
beef
thought.
gravy. I don't know
Not
who
that they're
says
coming
it.
from
I don't know if
any
someone made it up, but
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, gotta have it for the show.
Love it.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
like that's what I thought it was probably gonna be, but then I was like, really
And I like
fast,
that it was such
you're
a simple answer. I was
pervert.
like semen. And you're like, ew. You were
Yeah,
like.
it was such a natural, like, ew.
And you're like talking about like a bear like eating chili, like metaphorically like chili. And I'm like, semen. You're like, gross, disgusting.
Move on. Don't like it. Repeal gravy. Feel it.
Well, you've conquered
Thank you
the
for
terrain.
joining us for
Yeah.
a next episode of The Beauty and the Bi, in which we did not change our clothes.
No.
We've been here for 2 weeks.
I need to. Now they're gonna
sleep.
know every time. Like
Can you please help?
What?
I need sleep. It's been 2
Like,
weeks.
some call for
that
help.
we've
You're
been
looking at
here.
the camera like.
We did 2 whole episodes.
I know. Now people are gonna see us like in different clothes. Like, I bet you they filmed that one the same one as the other one. And I'm the illusion shouting.
Just don't talk about it.
Show's over.
Sometimes I wear the same pants to work, like
All
for
the
like 2
time.
days in a row,
All the time.
and I'm just like,
Don't talk about it. Don't mention it.
don't no one look.
Well, thank you so much for being
Yeah,
on our
thank you for
show.
having
It was
me.
such a good time.
So fun.
Appreciate it.
We will see you.
You guys up for some PNP? Or
Yes.
No.
Only with you guys though.
Beef gravy.
we'll see you
No beef
next
gravy.
time.
See you next time.